Okay, so we've got some designs here familiar from earlier on in this module, but without any colors applied. And we're going to go through the process of choosing colors and applying them and making color swatches. So what you want to try and avoid when you're doing this is being unstructured in the way that you choose color. Try and think about color in advance and try and decide on your colors so that you can be very organized about working with color. So you'll see that I've ungrouped this side here, so I've got individual objects to work with. If I just revert this back to what you'll be opening, which is activity 4.1.2 start, you'll see that everything's grouped. So I'm just going to select it and ungroup it again to show you what I did. Okay. So in my swatches panel, what I'm going to do is actually empty this out, and I generally encourage you to do that because then you're starting from scratch with a fresh canvas and you're adding your own colors. So I'm just going to go to the options for the swatches panel to select all unused, then click on this little bin, delete swatches. And then also there's a little black color group here that I'm also going to delete. Alright, so now I have just black and white and registration, and by the way, you should never use registration for your designs. That's a print color for your printer to use for separations. Okay, so now we're going to build our colors. So the orange, I'm going to add a new swatch, so from that button there. I'm going to make sure it's processed, assuming this is going to be a CMYK process color job. And then global means that if I apply the color to something or many things, and then I change the color, those items that the color is applied to will also change. So it's actually quite a good idea to make it global. Then of course we definitely want CMYK, and now we can mix up our colors. So I want a vibrant orange color. So I'm going to push up the magenta quite high. Okay, that's about right. And you can leave it with its CMYK properties. I like to give my colors names, so I'll just call this orange, and I'll say okay. So now I have orange, and I know it's a global color because it's got that little nick out the bottom right hand corner. And maybe I want a couple of versions of this color as well. So because it's a global color, I can actually apply tints to it. So in my color panel here, I have a little tint slider. So that's perfect for what I want to do. So what I'm going to do is select the actual orange itself and apply that orange fill. And then I want to go to the stroke. So I'll go up here to stroke and choose none. So it doesn't really matter where you do this. There are actually 6 different places in Illustrator to apply fills and strokes. So it can be down here, it can be up here, it can be in your properties inspector. There's many places. It doesn't really matter. You choose whichever one works for you. Okay, so we've got that as our base color. Now I want a sort of yellowish color to go in the background here. So I'm going to go to add swatch, and I'm going to make this quite pale color. Okay, I think that's about right. So I'll just call this light orange, for want of a better word. And that's going to apply to this here. Okay. The word orange, so these letters here, I'm going to make that the orange color with no stroke, and I'm going to set it to a tint of 50%. Okay, and then the marmalade, I'm going to set to just that orange on its own with no stroke. Okay, then with this object, also no stroke. And for this shape here, I want a darker color. So I'm going to select that orange color, and then I'm going to say new swatch, and it's going to use that orange as my base. I'm just going to make a darker, more redder color. And I'm just going to call this blood orange. Okay, and that's going to apply there without any stroke. And then here I'm going to apply that same color, and once again no stroke. And this I'm going to set to black, and again no stroke. And then this is going to be that lighter color. Oh, it needs to be that lighter color, and then the stroke none. And then finally this will be white with no stroke. Okay, so this orange I actually think will benefit from being just white. So let me change that. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so I've got the basis of what I want, and I've got my 3 global colors. So now I can sort of start playing around a little bit if I want to. So I'm going to double click on the orange, and I'm going to change it a little bit. So I want it to be brighter orange. Okay, and you'll see that it updates because it's a global color, and that looks terrible, so I'm going to undo it, and let's just go with something like that, so that looks better. Okay, so that's much more of an orange color. And then this one, the darker color, I think maybe I went a bit overboard with the darkness here. Okay, so you get the idea. So that's a good way of working with color, is keep your swatches panel clean and clear of unnecessary colors. Build your swatches and play around with them as you go. So what I want you to do is follow the steps I've followed to make to fill the colors for the first label, and then for the second label I want you to do this on your own. I want you to decide what colors you want to work with. I want you to add those to your swatches panel and apply those, and you can also apply tints of those colors as well. Make sure they're global colors. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and see you next time.